All right, DJ Rosterman here, and you're looking at my desktop screen. We've already launched Gameguru Max, so let's see what we got. Now, I made a demo last week. As you can see here by this opening screen, it was very dark. Now, it's a light demo, so the reason why I made it dark was so that we could see emphasis on fire and how lights worked within the program. But if you really can't see the definition of what you're looking at, it didn't work out. Okay, so we're going to redo it, and to do it, I'm going to go up here where you see this Earth-like symbol up on the right, and we're going to change the time of the day. It's easier to do it this way. This is a general nighttime, so we're just going to click on midday, and you see how that now just lit up really good. Now, just like in the last demo, I'll go ahead and explain some of the things here that I have created. And there were some questions on the Guru page about how to make a cave. And what we've done here, excuse me, is I've made a cave that you can actually wander around inside. It doesn't look too big from way up here. It kind of looks like a big old rock. But I'm going to take you down here. We're going to go down. And just like Lee Obama said in his video, you'd pretty much want to take a big rock. Okay, so this is a big rock right here. We'll click on it and you'll see it highlighted. That's how big the rock is. I just stretched it and made it really big and kind of flat. Didn't take all the height out because I wanted to keep some of the the dimensions to it, the 3D. So I did flatten it down quite a bit though. So that's the roof. Now you can also put one on the bottom so that the ground looks just like that and you're inside a cave. But rather than do that, I just left this ground, this terrain that we have here, on the floor of the inside of the cave. Now if you go closer here, you'll see that we've taken some other rocks. I'll click on one here. That's a rock, that's a rock, that's a rock, okay. So they pretty much put rocks all around to make this cave. Now I'll give you a good idea what it looks like from a upper perspective here. See if I can't get a little height. We're going to take the roof off now so you can see inside the cave. We'll drag it up and we'll slide it out of the way. Now I don't know what kind of caves you are talking about, so I'm just going to give you a general cave that I created here in a few minutes to show you how it actually can be done. There are different types of styles of caves, of course, and how you want to put it together and the lights that you want to put into it to create the type of atmosphere that you're going for. But what we did here was more like what you'd see at Carlsbad Caverns or maybe Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm when you go on a cave type of ride or a train ride. We like those bright colors being behind the stalactites and the boulders and whatnot. And if you build this low enough to the water table, you could actually cut a little groove in here and make little puddles of water from the ground. So and it's up to you how elaborate you want to make it. Now, I know with the roof off right now, it doesn't look like a whole lot there, but you can see stalactites that I put in here and some of these big rocks and boulders. Now I'll put the roof back on and we'll go inside and take a look, okay? And grab that roof over there and bring it back over here with the arrow key. And then we'll bring it straight down. Now you'll see the walls coming in there, see that? Okay, that gives me an idea where the top is of this roof. But if I go inside, I'm going to lower it a little bit lower so you can get the idea that you can put it in different places basically and make this either a very large chambered cave or a very shallow chambered cave. We're going to go back inside the cave to do the rest. Okay, this is inside. If you were standing right here, this is what you would see. Okay, so I don't think that's a big chamber there. I want a bigger cave, so I'm going to take it and raise it with the marker still highlighted here. So just raise it right up a little bit, but don't raise it so high that you see the sky, okay, coming through there. So let's just make sure that we don't do that. And I'm thinking right about there looks pretty good. Okay, we're going to leave it right there. So now the cave looks a lot bigger. You can see it's a lot higher. We'll go up a little even higher. See those stalactites? I put a base on them, something like that. So if I don't see that, I'm not quite high enough yet. But I'm going to go with that. The thing is here is I've already created the lighting for whatever height I had this at when I first started. And as you see, if I raise it and lower it, the lighting kind of changes a little bit. Not a whole lot. But we want to be right about I'm going to say here, okay, that's good enough. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and launch it, and you're going to see what it looks like from inside this cave. Okay, this is a quickie demo to show you that caves can be done. So we're going to go up here to this little this little rocket, see up here in the left-hand corner. And by clicking that, it's going to put you or launch you into the game. So you'll be first-person view full screen, and you'll get a better idea what the cave looks like from the inside if you were the player. Now, you can put a lot of stuff inside the cave, and you can put lights wherever you want. You can see off to the right there, they cast shadows on the walls from the stalactites. And those are my own stalactites. I just made something in a 3D program and dropped them off in there to see what they'd look like. Not overly impressive, but it was a quickie, okay, so I wasn't going for that. But you can see the ground and how the rocks work and how your person can now manipulate inside this cave. Now, to make it really more like a cave, so that you're really drawn into the atmosphere, when your character starts right here, when he first starts, you're going to put a sound module there. And when you step onto the area where the border is for that, it'll activate the sound. So the sound you're going to put in here is a bit like an echo with a wind blowing into it, with an occasional drip, 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 something that you would think you would hear inside of a cave. Okay, here we're going into the program. And that really makes it come to life. It's not just about the graphics, it's about the atmosphere you create with the audio as well. So we're still getting ready to launch. Now, when I first created this cave, I had a couple of characters in here, and they said some things to you. And unfortunately, there was an update to the software, and the characters have been either repositioned or something's out of whack. Because when I loaded in my game, the character was gone, but their speech is still recognized. I saw it up here and in here. So I just had to drag the character back in here from wherever they put it and reinitialize this. It should work fine. But anyway, the guy by this barrel here you see in front of us, he was going to tell you to grab an AK-47 that's behind him and to go down this little corridor you're going to see over here. It looks like a tunnel. And find out what's happening at the water treatment plant, which is apparently under... there's no communication, so we don't know exactly what's going on. So we're going to send you over there. And we want to arm you just in case there's some hostiles, This could be like... New York or Los Angeles, and you never know what you're going to run into. So yeah, you always arm people before you send them out on a mission. Okay, so here, like I said, Carlsbad Caverns, you see how that looks? Very brightly lit colors. You see shadows on the walls from the stalactites, because the lights are over here. You can't see their bulbs, but they are shining this way, creating that effect. Now, right here, there was a character, and his shadow was supposed to be showing on that wall as he moved and talked to you. But anyway, he's going to tell you, okay, go get that AK-47 behind you. So you look behind you here and you go AK-47. Let's see what he's talking about. Oh, there's one in the light. Look at that. So you just grab that because he says we're going to need it. So in order to take that, you need to hit the E key. Okay, and that gives you that. You got 2,970 rounds, lower left corner, if you want to take a look at that. Okay, so let's walk over here and you see now how bright that is in the front, okay, and dark it is in the back. Okay, that's because there's a light over here that you can't see that's actually being shown on that, okay? And that's to create that effect. Now these boxes down here, I created these. They're not part of the kit, and they're made to glow no matter what angle. You don't have to worry about any kind of light bulbs or nothing. They're going to glow in the dark even, so that's the whole idea behind them. And look at the detail. You can actually read that. And yes, I'm a big fan of Alienware. Okay, so let's go over here. And I don't know what you think a cave looks like. Now, this is what's questionable. What do people think a cave should look like? But this is very small. And like I said, if you made these walls taller, you could make this a 3 or 4 story cave. And then, of course, by putting bricks and stuff like that down or rocks, you would be able to make a path that a character can move up and down to get up to different levels. So it's not impossible to make a cave, not by any means. And how 3D you wish to make it, if you want to get involved in that, that's up to you. Big boulders up in the roof and whatnot would make it look a little realer. So, and characters and animals on the floor like rats and bats on the roof. And then, of course, the sound effects are going to make a tremendous difference. Now, there's a bit of an Easter egg cave here, Easter egg in this here cave. Let's turn the flashlight on here with the F key. And you'll actually see some bushes over here. This is done on purpose. Duck. Okay, go out there. It's another way out of the cave. So there you see my water treatment plant. We're going to be going over there in just a second. And then, yeah, I got to go back in here. No, you don't have to duck. I just said that to mess with you. Okay, so we go over here. And let's see here. We got our flashlight on. See how that lights up there? Really from dark to light like that. It's cool. Okay, let's take our flashlight, turn it off, because we won't need it until we get to where we're going. And I wanted to show you, see these tunnel lights? They flash. They go off and on. You can set times, how fast they flash and things like that, how dull or bright they are. So as you can see what happened there, it looks pretty good. We're going to go inside the tunnel. Let's run down here. All right, so for the rest of the demo, we seem to have a little bit of background music, which is kind of cool. It creates a little bit of atmosphere as we go to find out why we have lost communications with everybody at this here water treatment facility. So again, here I'm still going to try to use the flashlight. Oh, we don't need that sticky, gooey stuff. I must have hit another key. Oh, there we go. Get over here and say, take a look at this. Now hit the flashlight key with the F. You go over here and do that. And you'll see how much brighter it looks. See how much brighter that looks. Now, so if you had somebody hiding behind stuff in the dark, it's kind of light now, but I have to do that so you can see what's going on. See how the flashlight works way up there. I'll just turn it off real quick so you can see like a high beam. And you're going to need that throughout the game that this is created in. It's really dark. Right now you're looking at something that's probably about 3 or 4 times brighter than it should be at night. But I wanted to highlight stuff so I could show you the effects of everything. And you need to see the texture maps that are on the buildings and the walls. And if you look real close, you see how the fire flickers? Off the ground there, you probably see a little flickering going on. And look at the fence real close. I'll go right over here. See that light flickering off there, especially on the post over there. And then on the trees, it does the same thing. This tree over here really does it well. And that's done by the light that I put on top of it and I programmed it to flash. Pretty nice. They've done that for you. They made it really simple. It's basically drag and drop. And you now have lighting like that. So in a really dark game, you're going on a long trek through the woods or whatnot, an occasional fire barrel, and you're in total control of how bright this light is and how far the light goes out to create the lighting effect on, say, the sandbags or the fence. So it's pretty much easy to control all that. Over here, when I designed my building, I used a couple of different types of lighting. See that one down there, the whole length of the wall up and down? And then we have this one here on the top. And this is done on purpose because here it is, if it's darker, then you won't see anything where these pipes are. You see them now because it's lit up. But at night, that's just a big dark spot that somebody can come out of and attack you. So, and it creates an air of mystery. You'll see that in the dark. Okay? So we'll go down here and you'll see these ones here just show more brick. So depending on what you're trying to do and the atmosphere you're trying to create, you get to choose what kind of lights you want to put into your game. And by no means is this limited to what you see what I've done here, no. Now here I created some text and I put it into program and we made it glow a little blue. And at night it shines up really bright. You can see it way off across in the distance. And that's what we were going for. You see the water tanks up here? You can't see them in the dark. They look very dark. You have to be right up on. Let me turn on my flashlight. I'm going to leave it on because it seems to give you a better picture regardless, even in this lighting. So I'm going to show you this as a water tank. Now if you go on top of this water tank, excuse me, you'll see we put a bit of another Easter egg. It's kind of like a secret spot. So we get up here and we got to jump across, so it's a double jump. And yeah, you can hurt yourself if you go down to the bottom. Listen up. So I got to bring that up a little bit there. I just couldn't hear it. But it's me telling somebody, wow, you found a secret area. Congratulations. And I just put this box here. Now it's going to be a trigger. So when you get to this box, it's going to give you a reward that's really over there somewhere. But you don't know that. You'll just hear what he said there. And you can walk through this. It's not, collidable. No collision detection with this one here. But I just wanted to show you that 2-layer texture mapping to do this. One on the box itself was the skulls. And then I overlaid a graphic that's about 20 years old with my picture in it here. That I used to do stuff with graphics. So it gives you an idea. And that part actually glows. So I can make that really bright, and you can see it from a long ways off, like a light bulb. With the Starship Enterprise is there and the sun in my face, everything would be really like, you'll see these lights over here. I'll show you how that works. Okay, so I told you, I don't know, maybe I didn't, you can't get up there from here because these are too big and you can't jump up high enough. But you can jump out because you're up above them, so that you can do. So let's go over here now. In the fire barrels, you could have characters on patrol around these barrels, and the shadows will be cast from the characters that are between the light. Okay, now here I'm talking about those caustic shadows. See that? The light up there, see how that glows? You're in total control of how much that occurs. So it's really dark, it looks really nice. It gives a really nice, oh boy, check that out. You see how bright this could be? You can see it off in the distance. And that could be red or green or blue in the background that you see there. Any color that you want. Over here on these big water tanks that you see, if characters are on patrol around these fire barrels, we have put the light bulb low enough so if they cross the light bulb in any direction and you happen to be in the right spot, you'll see their shadows on these water tanks. So you may be hiding over here and looking over here, not actually see a character, but see their shadow as they walk around. And we think that's pretty cool inside the game. If you look up here, you'll see water towers that are storage facilities, and a couple of them have red light beacons on them. That means there's something wrong. So we need to go inside this light power unit, and we're going to be triggering a switch on this wall that will turn off this so you don't have an explosion way over there, and there'll be some sound that'll accompany that. Okay, and as part of the lighting, what I really wanted to show you, right in this particular point, I'm going to go ahead and shut off my flashlight for just a second. We're going to walk over to this. Now, in every game, you put weapons out there. And here we put a 45 out there for somebody to grab. See some ammunition right there like that. And you see a 45. Now, because I pre-programmed a light bulb here, and it's hitting this rag hanging in front, you see the shadow being cast on the 45? Yeah. Well, that's being pre-done. That's not by any light that's actually you can see. I put a light there on purpose to create that for you, to show you that light is there. And you can do that anywhere inside the program. But you can also have what they call dynamic lighting, which is if I take my flashlight right here and turn it on, see that pistol shadow up on that drum back there? If I move around, that's real-time shadowing. See how that works? So that's pretty cool. And that's what we like that in the game. Anything that comes between the light source and another source is going to cast a shadow on the other source. Okay, now I made the weapon 4 times bigger than out of the box with the game. So let's hit flashlight off for a second. Now, you can actually read that, TAC 1. We're going to take the E key and grab it and put it in our inventory. And we're going to come out of here. And we're going to reload it to show you how that looks. Just reload as R. Maybe he don't need no ammo. Or he's out of ammo. Okay, so that was reload. So I know it works. Let's give him the pistol again here and see what happens. Oh, I guess he's full. Okay, so there's more than one way into these buildings. Let me turn the flashlight back on because I want you to see a little better. And I can take you up this way here. Now, what's really cool about this is when you get up here, if you jump on this fence, you won't hurt. If you miss the fence, you'll get hurt. So go ahead and jump over. And now if you fall down in this area, it's not far enough to hurt you. So you're going to get inside the fort. There's more than one way in. Okay. And we're going to show you that we can shoot these barrels here and show you what the blast effect would look like. Pretty cool. And the same with these ones over here. So you got explosives you can put out in your environment, which is really nice. We have a motor pool here. Turn the flashlight back on, make sure it's on. This is going to be our motor pool. I got a couple of vehicles I've already created to put inside here. And you can go up here. We're going to have some machinery up here, stuff like the hoist to grab an engine or something like that. Pretty cool looking building. I designed this all myself and then brought it into the, well, actually I brought the pieces into the game and I built it from there. These are all individual pieces. And to give you an idea what I'm talking about, well, I'd have to come out of this right now to show you, but here we go. If you come over here, you see this piece of wood right here. Now that's a base piece of wood that I'm going to be able to use to put frames and a door frame on that door. That piece of wood right there is what I use to create this door frame, to give it a more nice look. These window frames to give them a better look, kind of a cherry wood design. So I think that comes out looking pretty good. But since we're not actually done with my level here, we still have to put doors here and window frames. Now when you think about it, remember here, you got to make that 4 pieces for each window. So you have 4, 8, 12, 16, 24, whatever. Go all the way down here. And you got to make them all. So that's a lot of pieces. And I got to put them all in their respective places. So it's a model. You're building this model of this world inside Gameguru. And I do have buildings that are as big as this one here that are just one model, and I haven't tried yet to import those, but I will be shortly, and I'll show you how they look as well. So that's really cool. This is a nice little place. There's a lot of stuff happening. These boxes here that I have created, you see how they glow? So I don't need a flashlight or anything with that. They actually will glow even in the dark. So all this other stuff might be pitch black, but those will look the same. And I can make the yellow, the explosives and the skull, actually glow caustically like you saw those lights outside, because that's a texture map that'll do that. So that's cool. Let's turn the flashlight back on so you can see these walls as I walk around here and out of here. There we go. See, nice cherry wood design there. Again, we're out front of the building. So I kind of hope you enjoyed what you've seen here. All the kinds of lights that you see, the fire barrels are doing their thing. Again, down here I want to show you the flickering lights on top of the water towers that have a electrical issue. I mean, we told you about that. If you don't get that taken care of, see how they flash up there? The red ones are flashing and the white one looks like it has a short. So you got all kinds of things that you can do. You see my boxes here that I created and brought into the game. The detail looks really nice. And that's the light just from the fire barrel itself. And you can actually see it casting shadow and light on different materials inside here. Yeah, I think it's looking really good. I don't know if you're a big fan of Gameguru. People say, well, should I buy Gameguru? Well, look at it this way. I'm an early adopter, and I'm using the software to test it and find out how it works. So far, I'm not having any issues with what I'm seeing. The eye candy looks really great. And if the AI characters fight and are very responsive, then I'm looking forward to playing some games with this software and designing some levels for my friends. Whether or not it's store worthy or not, you would have to put a lot of time and effort into something you were trying to sell as a store. But if you're just showing this to your friends and saying, look, I built this is great software, and it's only like, I don't know, 50 bucks. So really you can do a lot with it. And if you do make a game, the game's yours. You can sell it. Whether or not you want to, whether or not you have any buyers, or whether or not you put that much time and effort into it, that's questionable. But I think if you really wanted to, you could build something, at least graphically, that is amazing. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I hope you got a little bit from it, especially the cave part. Again, I'm going to come out of here now. I'm going to hit escape. And I'm going to go back again here and look up from the airplane view, so to speak. And I'll be able to take that roof off there. Because I thought, the first time I lifted the roof off of here, I go like, wow, that looks like something I've seen in a game. And no, I never built one of these before. But I did like what I was seeing, and I'm glad. I hope everybody likes what they got from that. Like I was talking, everything's little pieces. See, there's a piece right here. There's a piece right there. There's a piece right there. Everything's done in pieces. So you actually have to build all this stuff made up of all these pieces. Okay, so if I click on the wall pieces, the door pieces, it's like a model. So if you ever built a model car or something like that when you were a kid, you know that the pieces got to be glued together. And this is your world. You glue these pieces together and make your world. Now a lot of this stuff, these big drums like this, they come with the Gameguru kit, so they're not pieces really. Let me put that back down there. Popping up like that. So it's really a great program, but what you get out of it is what you put into it. So be prepared. Now see how fast I can fly around. And how big is your world? Well, let's take a look. I'm going to go up in the air here for a little bit. And according to Lee Bama and the guys there at Gameguru, my understanding, as long as you stay within inside that dotted line, that's your play field. Now, I'm not 100% sure that's correct, because during some of my demos that I'm trying to work on, I don't get near that line and it says you're out of bounds. But see, we're above the clouds here. Check that out. We can fly down there. So you can imagine if you were a helicopter, making a helicopter flight dynamic noise, or a satellite, we're coming in and take a satellite. And what you do is you take your audio or video recording software, rather, and you record this. And you can make little movies that introduce you to your game. For example, right here, if I were to hold down Control-Alt and my arrow, and then just use my mouse by getting it out of the way of the picture, I don't want it to be seen, I could actually fly around this place like I was a helicopter or a surveillance thing and record this little movie. And of course, you want to do audio while this is going on. For example, if you had that chopper sound, and then you had somebody like on a radio saying 297, we got a flight dynamic situation over the water treatment plant, we're not seeing any activity, things like that. And you make little movies to go with your game. And it's really cool. So yeah, you got a lot you can do with this. I mean, it's really a fame. For $40, $50, you got to be shitting. I bought crap for more than that. Okay, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Gameguru Max. Guy, you guys doing okay so far, man? Keep it up and get it done. Looking forward to it before Christmas. Thanks. Bye.